Well, hello and welcome to the Crick House, a podcast where we tell you about what it's like to be a family, one family, in ministry together. So we are what you would call homeland missionaries. So we're made up of what is now the popular term mish kids.
Really?
Yep, mish kids. So you've got PKs, which are pastors' kids, and then you've got mish kids, missionary kids.
Mish kids, I don't know if I like that.
Of course, we have our parents.
I've got to go say something on that. The other day, apparently I found out there was a youth term and there is a term called granola mums.
You've just turned everybody off the podcast.
And apparently...
there's also now a term called crunchy people. It's when you're super healthy and have all natural kind
I'm
of
not
things.
apparently termed as a granola mum quite.
You're
but it
porridge
means
mum.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Okay.
I don't know what daddy would be, but...
I have absolutely no idea.
You're not mistakes, you're mish kids.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right. Well, now you've got a feel for how this works. We'll go around the table and introduce ourselves quickly, tell you a little bit about what we do in the ministry, and then we want to jump into, for those of you who are new, and as it's been a while since we've done a podcast, just a little bit about what our ministry is, where it is right now, and the new exciting things that we have on the horizon. And then we've also had some big family developments, which in a previous recording of this, we accidentally leaked. So we're going to update you on that.
My bad.
And bring that through. But let's start off with some intros quickly. We'll go around the table, tell everybody who we are and what we do in the ministry.
But they don't know where the ministry is yet.
Well, we'll tell them about that in a moment.
Okay.
Start with you.
Okie dokie.
On the yellow mic.
On the yellow mic. Surprised Ari doesn't have the yellow mic because it's her favourite colour.
This is true. Why do you not have the yellow mic?
Because up until about 2 minutes ago, I was sharing your foot bath under the table, which required me to be on the other end of the table.
Why do we have a foot bath right now?
Because it's nice and
Because I want
relaxing.
one.
You also have a foot bath
I do.
under the table. Okay.
There are 2 foot bath tubs. both
Can
of
you
which
describe
being
foot
occupied.
bath and why you like them?
Not really. Comforting.
Comforting.
If I had
There
to
you go.
describe it in one word. There you go.
So you must listen to this podcast whilst in a foot bath as
Yes.
well.
That is
to
a
get
requirement.
The full
Mandatory.
experience.
Mandatory.
That's a
Good
big
word.
Well, you heard it there
Very good.
from...
What's your name?
Oh, sorry. Yes. So I'm Eli. I am 11 now. Yes, I am obviously in the family ministry, which I'm loving, being man of family. And hobbies-wise,
And
I've
you are
been...
at school as well. You're being homeschooled,
Yes,
right?
yes.
Okay, just make sure.
Yeah, I'm being homeschooled.
You're not
Don't
working
worry.
full time.
Yeah, full time.
At school.
So yeah, hobbies-wise, I do something called Tinkercad, which is basically a 3D design software. So you might know of 3D printers. Basically, it's just a printer, but it prints plastic. It's quite hard to explain.
Cable
but,
clips.
Prints
look,
objects,
you can
doesn't
print
it?
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
you can.
you can.
Door wedges.
Yeah.
Herb shredders.
Bed stands.
Yes. Actually,
And all
which
of these
is
above
what I
things
designed
Eli has
recently.
been commissioned to do.
Making
but yeah.
good use of him.
Hobbies-wise, I do Tinkercad. I like to do some art,
You do?
including digital art. And I love doing dog training. So yeah, Oscar.
Okay, thank you for
With
telling
the
everybody
green
my
mic.
name. With the green mic. My name is Oscar. As Eli just told you, I'm just about to turn 19, so I'm officially an adult now. Don't know if I was last time we did this, so woohoo! I am also, of course, in the family ministry. I get to be involved with the musical side of it, so I'm doing a lot of the composing, writing of songs. I also am acting and singing in the performances. I also do a lot of work in the audio dramas, and I know we haven't shared what it is we do, but you'll find out in a
They're
moment.
getting subtle hints.
Well, that's
though.
all about.
Yeah,
They're getting
yeah,
hints.
yeah.
You have to stay to the end.
You've had a
see.
big development this year, haven't
I
you?
have. For those of you who don't know me, my signature look, you might call it, is I wear a flat cap pretty much almost all the time. And as of lately, the flat cap has been being removed. I was killing my hair. It was dying, and I had to resurrect it. It was the only thing to do that was right. So Mother buzz cutted me last Christmas, and I kept the hat on firmly while it was so very bad. And then eventually I could take the hat off. And I did a massive event recently without my hat. So that
Yes,
was
you did.
a development.
It was a development.
Forgive me. Okay.
Well, we're looking at the other end of the table.
Because
where
something wild
there
just
are-
happened.
There are two people who are having a giggle fit.
And my hobbies, very quickly.
Okay. We're doing hobbies. All right, go for
Well,
it.
Eli did hobbies. Music, baking. That's actually, what else do I do? Reading.
Well, that's the very interesting life of Oscar.
I like tennis.
Okay, so my sister is on the end of the table, my fellow Mish kid. So, tell us a little about yourself.
I love being a Mish kid, honestly. It's such a cool title to have.
Better than granola mum.
It is better than granola, mum.
Crunchy.
Although, well, no, never mind. I won't prelude to anything.
Okay. So I'm Ariel. I'm the only one out of 3 brothers. I'm the only one out of 3 brothers. I'm coming up 23. In Manor, I do all of Manor's social media. I am choreographer, teacher, fellow stage actor, and freelance writer. Do the costumes and the stage design.
Basically, Mrs. Rabbit out of Peppa Pig.
Absolutely.
Very unusual chair.
No, yes, you are sitting
Yes,
on an
on a
unusual
very
chair.
big development.
On a very big.
I think we're going to have to intro this early on. For those of you who somehow do not know, if you're new to the podcast, you wouldn't know.
You're
But if
forgiven.
if you've known our family for longer than 3 days, you will know this very fact. There is a new voice at the Crick House
Just
table.
say hi.
It's a dog.
And it is a voice that is that is legally bound to the family now.
By a
As in,
ring.
There is a ring on it.
There is a
Not
ring
an
on it.
And it's not an
Engagement ring.
engagement ring.
No, it's a
human?
it's a wedding ring.
Yes, it's a wedding ring, yes.
What's your name?
Hello, everyone. My name's Lawrence.
Yes.
And we got married.
Who got married?
Me and Ariel got married just under 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And as you can
April
hear,
25th.
they are deliriously happy. I can tell you now, we've had nothing but giggles.
Emphasis on delirious, yes.
Okay, so from one happy couple to another happy couple who have been married slightly longer than 2 weeks, I give you my parents.
Only a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Enough time to have all of us.
So, good evening, everybody. I am Gary, and no, we're quite correct. We have been married a little bit longer. We'll be 29 years this year, won't we?
It will
Oh,
indeed.
the big 3-0 in 2027.
Absolutely.
That's right. That's
Gonna
right.
have a big celebration.
Yeah, yes, it will be a big celebration.
will be a big
Absolutely
celebration.
Will be. Anyway, 29 years, best woman in the world, love her to bits, and we've been doing this with the family for the last 15, 20 years.
Well, it depends if you go back as far as
It depends how
YWAM in
far back you go,
Hertfordshire.
yeah.
It does.
If you go back that far, we would be talking 22.
Yeah, you've been doing it for as long as I've been alive.
It's
Yeah.
been going on a long time.
time.
But
It has.
tell them who you are, for those who are new.
I'm Jamie.
And what you do in the ministry.
I'm Gary.
And then we'll tell them what the ministry is.
With the parents.
We're the parents. I'm Dad. This
I
is Mum.
cook.
That's really
Hello, Mum.
boring.
Okay. What is your Christian name?
Gary.
Thank you. There we go. That's
Did
what
I
we were
not
trying to
say
get.
that?
I don't know.
No.
I think I said Gary.
Everyone,
several
I
times.
think everyone refers to you as Dad at this point.
They do. At the table, I'm Dad. But outside of this room, outside of this house, I am Gary.
Sorry about that.
You don't have a middle name.
Or Oi.
You don't have a middle name.
I don't have a middle name.
It's really sad.
It is sad.
I think we should let you give him a middle name.
Paul.
Paul. Gary.
Everyone I know was called Paul.
Gary Paul.
In case the microphones didn't pick it up, Lawrence
Paul doesn't quite cut
has dubbed my father Gary Paul Crick. So there we go.
Every father's name, like middle name, when I was growing up was called Paul. Like my dad, my friend's dad, every single dad at some point, their middle name was Paul. So
Brilliant.
Paul it is.
Wow.
Brilliant.
This is where Gary breaks with tradition and is no longer called Paul.
So it's Gary Saul Crick.
No.
No,
Be the former?
Welcome to our table.
that was in my
Yes.
BC days.
Welcome to our table. Absolutely.
This is exactly what it's like. So within the ministry, I.
What's your name?
Oh, I did say that, didn't I?
I'm not sure if we heard it in
I
amongst
think it
all
was
the
just
giggling
Mum.
about
Okay,
Paul.
I'm Jay.
What's your middle name?
I don't want to talk about my middle name.
Why not?
It's
like
Paul.
the middle name.
It's called to
It's Paul.
Jamie Paul.
Jamie Paul.
Jamie Paul Crick.
Paul Crick.
Pauline and it could
Jamie
be Paul.
and Gary Paul.
Paul and Pauline.
And what do you do?
So I help lots of different areas, but mainly write the scripts.
Ooh, subtle hint.
With regards to what we did in previous years, apart from the last 3 years, Noah's going to let you know about that.
You still write the scripts.
That's true. That's true. Noah will let you know about what we did in the earlier days
Yeah,
of
it's
the ministry.
exciting.
So I'll give him some stuff to talk
What do we
about.
do?
So what do you
Paul
do
and
though?
Pauline.
You write the scripts. What else do you do?
Direct the family.
Direct.
Yeah.
Come up with all the generally creative ideas that we all gulp at, and then somehow actually manage to pull off through the grace of
2
God.
days before we're actually due to do
Miraculously.
administration, and it's like,
Well,
ooh.
that's not an exaggeration. There was an event in recent years where life happened, and we were scheduled to do an event, and we didn't actually have a script until 2 days before. And somehow the Lord managed to pull it off with
It
us.
wasn't like a huge event, though.
No, but it was an hour long.
It was an hour long.
So it was no small feat.
impressive.
So by
on a
now,
miracle.
God is
you
good.
either think that we are pharmacists who are incredibly involved with all the scripts that we write, or we do film, or we do theatre. So what do we do as a ministry? We share the gospel, the good news of Jesus Christ through the performing arts.
That's what we do.
How do we
Bring
do
the Bible
that?
alive.
How do we do that?
I
We
don't know.
bring the Bible alive through the arts. We love a phrase that's circulated within our ministry and within our family, and we say we turn stages into altars. And what does that mean? It means we take what is classically a stage used to entertain, and we turn it into something where people can come and find salvation in Jesus, therefore making it an altar, somewhere where we sacrifice and we bring
Nicely
praise to the Lord. So what do? We write scripts that share the gospel or biblical values or biblical teachings in musical theatre form. Now, to call our events shows or events or musical theatre performances, it's not the right word, but it's the easiest way to describe it, because what we do in a traditional sense looks very much like a musical theatre performance. But what the Holy Spirit does through them is he ministers to people's hearts. And we've seen God do miracles. We've seen him save people. We've seen lives dramatically changed, turned around. We've seen people brought back from the brink of suicide. We've seen people healed. We've literally seen backs healed in the audience in the middle of our shows. We've seen depression leave people in the middle of these performances.
We will get back to the podcast in just a moment, but did you know that my family are full-time Christian workers? This means that we rely on the partnership of people just like you to help us meet our daily living costs. If you would like to help support my family, or indeed our ministry, Manor Family, then please head to our website at www.manorfamily.co.uk, where you can find out more ways to help support us and the work we do. Now, back to the episode.
We've seen people with full-blown dementia not being able to remember anything, remember every single line and element of the show.
Yep.
People who are stone deaf, hearing absolutely everything.
That's right, yeah. We had a show where there was a man who was stone deaf. He had heard nothing, but he sat in the show and he heard every single word.
And that doesn't happen on the West End.
No, it does. I don't care what potions Wonka comes up with.
I have to say,
it doesn't
though,
work.
If we really look at what people, the listeners might be saying, well, why? Why is this? Because we really try. No, I don't like that word. Try. We really do, by the inspiration of the Holy Spirit, bring his word into the scripts, so that when his word is spoken, that is what contains the power. It's not because there's clever scripting. It's not because there's, amazing music, although the music is incredibly anointed, but that is all because of the power of the written word of God. That is weaved in and out of our scripts, and it is that brings the difference to the presence of God within the performance.
Amen. It's the Holy Spirit all over it that just encounters people in the performances.
So why don't you just share, Ozzy, where did Manor start?
Okay.
How it started. What's your earliest memory of Manor, and where did it start, and what did you experience growing up
The
with it?
Diary of a Mish Kid.
Going right back.
Come on.
Okay.
Are we there yet? There's still
Oh
a
my
way to
goodness.
go.
Yeah, but I remember that? I just remember being
I
told
don't
that
think
because
you
I was
do.
so young.
Oh, you were young.
Ariel, maybe you can recall the Are We There Yet?
Hang on, no, we need to sort of just
I can
clarify
remember further back than that.
Really? Yeah. We need to
Okay.
clarify just the sort of the roots first. Of
What's
what
your earliest memory?
my earliest memory? I'm trying to reach back into the archives of my brain. Give me a second, it's a long way.
You're not that old.
And his brain isn't that big.
Gosh.
Come on, it's in the second filing
Oh
cabinet.
my word.
Somewhere in there.
I remember the flooring of the dressing room in one of the
Okay.
first theatres we went to.
Wow.
I just do. It was funny. It was one of those funny spongy floorings. But oh gosh, so my early memories. I can't remember back that far to the really early years, but I remember being obviously involved as a child in the theatre productions. We did way back, probably what 20. Where was it from? 2014 onwards, that sort of a time.
13.
So I was involved actually performing in them, and I got to grow up doing that, loving it, being a part of musical theatre shows, bringing the gospel to life. We had huge casts, we had friendships built,
Yep.
and we got to be involved in that. To actually look back at the roots of where it all started, you really have to go right back to where my mum began. She was involved, London Palladium, Andrew Lloyd Webber, all that kind of stuff. Really involved. To cut a long story short, and she could say a lot better than I could, but she came under attack with a horrible condition, which eventually left her bedbound for 3 years. She was involved in theatre before, had actually started up a drama group, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's right.
But
Time to Act, that's right, yeah.
bedridden for 3 years, and the enemy tried to wipe it out, but he couldn't. The Lord told her, put your ballet shoes back on. As a step of faith, she did. This is really concise, but eventually
We'll do in the near future
the
an
testimony.
episode
Yeah,
with you and a few of us.
Mum's
Talking it
testimony.
absolutely.
My sister keeps stealing the mic.
My
from
mic
my
just
brother.
disappeared.
Welcome to our family.
It's okay. I'll just wrap up the sort of the early years, and so eventually, through a process of the Lord walking through the situation with Mum, she was able to begin teaching again. She started a Christian children's musical theatre class,
Yeah.
and it started off in a tiny little studio, and it grew in a matter of weeks, wasn't it? To
Yes.
probably nearly, was it?
About 80 kids.
Was it 80 kids? 50 kids to start with.
In a couple of years, it was up at 150.
Yeah, so we eventually reached about 150 kids, and the Lord's grown it since then. We've taken to stages, we've taken to churches, we've taken to outdoor events. We've been here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
The Lord's done marvelous
He
things.
really has.
So that's sort of a really brief idea of the story. Us as a family are all involved in doing that. So yeah, that's sort of a really concise version, but it can be really expanded on, of course.
Harry,
Yeah.
you need to explain one of your best memories.
Okay, so my
Lawrence, you need to be very afraid of this.
This is Ariel's best memory, not mine, I might add. Not mine.
well, so before we get into my best memory, my earliest memory I think of Manor is before. I think it's just after Oscar was born, when you're working with the boarding school and you did Riot in the Chapel.
Oh, wow.
I can remember sitting there next to one of the girls and watching your rehearsal.
Wow.
And that's my earliest, and then it moves on to when I was in class with my friends.
Tatty Bogle.
Yeah, that was a couple of years a bit later, but
Yep.
definitely remember Riot in the Chapel. And one of my favourite memories.
What did riot mean?
Righteous invasion of truth.
Taken
Yes.
from.
Carmen. So one of my favorite memories is a part of what I do behind the scenes is I'm also in charge of everything makeup. So we do a lot of biblical productions, so that involves things using like wigs, beards, and stuff like that. Professional lace backs, they look really good and really realistic. And
We love the glue.
You can't. We do love the glue.
No, you do, we don't.
You can't tell the difference between the boys once they've got their beards on and when they don't have them off. But one of my favourite things is putting foundation on my dad. For those who don't know my dad in person, he's bald. completely bald.
And he has a middle name called Paul.
Completely folliculous.
Not completely bald.
Bald Paul.
I have fluff. I would like to say right
Gary
now
Crick
that I have
Bald.
fluff.
Still clinging.
Now, for the young ones
His forehead
amongst
goes all
us,
the way back.
we do know that there is a certain time, and I'm wondering when it's coming, in a matured man's life,
I'm glad you put it like that.
where the fluff is false hope clinging to a past that will no longer come back, and you must embrace
The baldness.
the baldness.
I actually like to think that my stem cells are kicking in,
Anyway,
and I'm going
So-
for
so-
the regrowth.
Everybody, are you team regenerate or team lose the fluff?
anyway, so because my dad's forehead goes all the way back, when we do his stage makeup,
How do you know when to stop?
we don't. So we
Actually,
take
so all these rude comments can just bounce off.
we take the foundation all the way to the top of his head, but we don't just have like a powder puff kind of brush. We have like one of those like professional kind of like foundation sponges that has a handle, and it looks a bit like a mushroom. The girls who like foundation and makeup, you'll probably know what I mean. But it's just great fun buffing it. We call it the buffer. We just pound
Yeah,
it.
it's not supposed to be used so violently,
Yes.
but you can hear little shrieks from the boys as Ariel
It
has
is
great
used
delight
violently.
buffing her brothers and dad. So, Lawrence,
I am
be
both
very
shorter
afraid.
and weaker than them all. So it's the one time.
Yes.
When the
Yes.
buffer appears, run.
Well, there you go.
It's
So,
hang on now.
Oh yeah.
It's actually when Ariel
Regenerate
says,
or Team Lose.
"Come here, Dad. Sit down here." And I sit down and I see the buffer come out of the makeup box, and I think, "Oh no!" And
Yes.
she looks at me with this gleam in her eye, don't you?
It's very
And I
true.
get a right royal buffing.
She's a maniacal,
Yes, you do.
maniacal makeup artist.
It's a pre-show massage.
Yeah, right.
That's one way to say it.
Eli, do you have an earliest memory?
I'm pretty early myself.
You are pretty early yourself.
Do you have? Oh, I've got a memory for you. What about one Christmas ago when you were on stage and Noah and I were trying to get?
Oh, my
Yes.
word,
Oh,
yes.
good heavens. Yes, so there was a performance we did where I was narrating in pajamas
In bed.
in bed.
Very blessed.
Actually, it was one of the greatest acting roles now. But we were doing a day where we were doing the performance twice in a row, and then the performance, and then just half of the performance. And what? By the time of the half of the performance, what time do you reckon it was? Like
It was about 4:00, but it was a special performance for a group of children involved in a charity. So
Yeah.
we said we would do a 20-minute bit, but Eli was tucked up in bed telling these great, telling the story basically as our winter narrator. And carry
Sure.
on.
Okay, so I was narrating, and Oscar and Ari came on to act as I just finished narrating, and then I don't know if I woke up or not, but I then just remembered hearing Mum and Noah's voice, and Noah was beside my bed, just like, Eli, can you hear us?
Yeah.
And I was there, and I was like, oh, I either fell asleep or I was completely zoned out.
We had to
yeah.
sneak on the
We
stage
thought
You
his mic
did.
had
in the
gone.
middle of a live performance to see what was going on with you, and you had dozed off in this
I
bed.
woke up and I was like, what are you doing on the stage?
Well, yes.
Oh, man.
We have had some...
But we winged it, didn't we?
We did wing it, and we
did.
made it through.
Noah, your
We
earliest
made it
memory.
through.
Oh, Scroogical.
And you left me on. Oh no, but I left you on stage.
Well, now we've introed it. I'm going to have to go for it, but it's not my earliest memory, but it's certainly one of the most vivid.
I'm just going to get some more hot
I
water for
was
the football.
playing
That the rip.
Scrooge in our version of A Christmas Carol, and I was given these thermal pajamas, these nighty pajamas.
is the rip.
So this might. Well, there's no easy way to say this.
You had leggings on.
I had leggings on. Everything was fine. Everything was appropriate. But I didn't know that thermals didn't come with zippers. And I managed to put these on backwards, which means that when I hit my knees as Scrooge surrenders to Jesus in this show,
The proverbial boyfriends.
the zipper, which does not exist, parted like the Red Sea. and all that you could see, don't worry, I'm not going anywhere weird, is just a big black hole in a very unfortunate place. And that memory has lived in the minds of many people who were involved in that show for many, many years. So yes, that was great fun. But anyway, we've had some fun times, haven't we?
We have.
We really, really have. That was the years when we were training children every week to share the gospel.
Young people and
Yeah.
into adults. It turned into a family
It did.
company. We started off by training children age 4 right through to 16. And then we found that when they got to 16, they didn't actually want to go anywhere. So we developed a extra team of young people who would be trained to then support and help
That's right.
train the younger young people, and turned into a team called Team Zoe. Which means life in Hebrew.
Yes.
And so they would then help to train the younger ones. And then the process kept going, and adults of these children got involved.
Yes.
And so we ended up having a family theatre company outreach team that were called upon to do performances on streets, in ecumenical events, at cathedrals, and all over the place, as well as our regular yearly performances in our local community BBC Standard Theatre, which was fantastic
It was amazing.
to
It
perform
was a
in.
real blessing.
And we did Manor Academy, as it was called, in Surrey, in Guildford, for 12 years.
It was 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah, 12 years.
Really?
It was 12 years.
It was an absolutely amazing,
Over half my life.
amazing time. Getting to see children come in.
1 year before I was born.
Yep, very, very shy, not wanting to say a word, hiding behind their mums' backs, as a lot of children do. And they come into a Christian performing arts environment where not only are they taught the performing arts and not only just self-confidence, but confidence in the ability that the Lord has given them, and confidence in the Lord. And we see them come out of their shells into amazing, amazing, amazing people. And we've seen amazing things happen. But in the last couple of years, the Lord started to do something a little bit new. And we haven't got a lot of time left on the episode, so we'll dip into it quickly and then let you know about something exciting coming up. Now we've shared about all of that. But the Lord started to do something new, didn't he? He started to send us out as a family.
Of 6.
Of just 6 of us. Now 7 of us.
Now 7.
Welcome, Lawrence. by the
Although
way.
there's no pressure to be involved.
There's no pressure, but
There
when the
definitely
recording
is.
ends, there's pressure.
We do need a roadie, Lawrence.
I'm joking.
Roadie.
But the Lord started to send us out as a team of 6, and we just went wherever we were invited. That has taken us all over the United Kingdom. We've been into Northern Ireland, we've been way down south, we've been up north, we've been Wales, and the Lord has just taken us to incredible places, and we've met incredible people.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And we've seen the Lord do absolutely amazing things as we bring hour to an hour and a half long presentations of the gospel in a musical theatre format that just hits between the eyeballs. And it's absolutely amazing seeing the
I think
Lord
this
get
is
to
a good
work
point
through
to
that.
mention. Yeah, I think this is a good point to mention that what we do is ecumenical, and denominations or denomination barriers seem to disappear when we go into different places, because our team previously was made up from everybody under every denomination you could think of, and the unity that came through that was absolutely beautiful.
Yes, it was.
And now we find that we're going into places where we're in Methodist, Baptist, Church of England, Anglicans, you name it, and it really, from a musical theatre point of view and from God's point of view, makes absolutely no difference whatsoever. It's like the barriers are down,
Yeah,
and
there's
the truth comes in.
There's something very precious about something which is, so ecumenical and such, a gift from the Lord in regards to the arts, whether it's music, singing, dance, drama, whatever. It doesn't have a label with it. It is a pure gift from God, and it just, when you have all these different denominations working together, it breaks down, as Gary says, all those barriers. I think I just remember one of my earliest memories with this is we did an event called Kingdom Come, which actually still happens all over the nation, on Guildford Cathedral steps. And we were there with our dance team from Guildford, and there was probably about 25 of the children who were involved with the dance team out of the 150 kids. And we were all on the steps doing an outreach dance and really giving their all. And I believe it was the Archbishop of... No, not Lichfield.
It was Woking or
Reigate, somewhere around
Somewhere,
there.
sorry.
Who came up to me, excuse the clock going off, it's our beautiful animal clock. She came up to me and she said, are all these young people from one particular church in Guildford? And I said, no, they are actually from 7 or 8 different denominations. And she absolutely stood there with her mouth open saying, how have you done this?
Yeah.
And I actually took that question into my heart and I thought, well, firstly, we didn't do this. This was the Lord's doing.
That's right.
But it was because we were working together for one common goal and for the hour and a half that we were together as a team. None of those names or denominations mattered because these were gifts in these kids that the Lord had put there. You know, there was an Anglican singing her lungs out. There was a Brethren singing his lungs out. There was a Messianic Jew at one point back in the early days, Catholics, and they were just united in their love for Jesus. And those things didn't matter. But the most precious thing was the group got so big that we actually had parents staying because they had a 4-year-old in one class and then the next class was the 7-year-olds and then they had a teenager. So they ended up hanging around Manor. And we had a really precious lady called Danny who decided that not only would she start serving cups of tea and drinks and everything, she actually turned it into a cafe and bought some toasty makers. And this thing turned into a little community.
It did.
It bloomed. And some of the friendships and some of the children that started off in Manor in minis and in juniors were actually at Lawrence and Harry's wedding.
Married now.
That's right, yes. So some of those kids who came to us at 8 years old
Actually, you can share.
were at your wedding at like 19 years old.
I mean, my dance teacher was my matron of honor, a lady who had taught Oscar when he was when you were really small.
She was one of our young volunteers.
She was one of our young volunteers. She joined when she was 16. She was there, fully fledged married woman for several years now.
I think she was actually with us way before she was 16. She was a teacher, one of the young adult teachers when she was 16, but I think she actually joined when she was 12 or 13.
We had girls and guys there who joined when they were like 9, 10, and they're now 18, 19, 20, leaving university, going off to work, and they were all there, and it was amazing to see everyone all over again. It was like a massive family reunion.
Yeah.
It is amazing to see the legacy that having your children in a Christian environment can bring. It keeps them grounded and it brings them into a place where their faith is secure, and obviously pairing that alongside everything that you would do as a parent.
I think one of the things that attracted parents, if you like, to come and be part of Manor was the fact that we very much foster an attitude of we very much discourage an attitude of elitism, whereby we, it was very often children were put in roles and the classroom would kind of go, why him? Why her? And it was because, we prayed as a team and asked the Lord why and who and who should take the roles. And they weren't always the obvious choice. They weren't always the best singer, the best actor, the best dancer in the room, but God had put his finger on their life. And then maybe that same year when we were training with them, or maybe even years on, we've come to realise, that's why God needed that young person in that role for that time.
Absolutely.
And how that has influenced their life and made a difference.
And I think that's the power of a Christian environment in the performing arts, where it's not solely about who looks like they're going to be the best, who looks like they've got the best ability, but it's actually about the Lord saying, I want that one, and they actually end up being the best person for the role. After the performance, we go, actually, they were definitely the best one, because the Lord saw something in them that we didn't. And that brings us to a very exciting thing that we're going to tell you about just before we wrap up, but in some future episodes we'll go into the full story of Manor and look at the backstory of my mum's testimony. That might take a couple of episodes. We'll see how it goes, but buckle in, listen. If you're not following the podcast, follow the podcast. You don't want to miss those episodes. It's a powerful story. But the exciting news is this: for a season the Lord had us pause the Manor community where we had all the children coming, and he sent us out on our own. And in that season, we've learned a lot about what the Lord wants to say through the avenue of the arts. The beauty of it is that it breaks down all barriers that people would have to
That's
maybe
right,
being
that's right.
preached to, because they are coming to see something that's in their mind going to entertain. And yes, they're entertaining, but the Spirit is so strongly weaved throughout that they are ministered to while they're there. And that's why Manna is coming back for children and adults this year. In the summer of this year, we are bringing back Manna to teach children and adults how to use the arts, to be excellent in the arts, to use their God-given gifts, but also to share the gospel. You no longer need to choose between the performing arts and your values, because in a Christian performing arts environment, we honour both.
That's right.
We honour the
That's right.
God-given gifts
Absolutely.
and we honour the values that you have. We, like you, have struggled seeing children enter performing arts arenas, environments, and slowly lose their character, lose their values, lose the godly input you've put into their lives, because they've been surrounded with a culture
Compromise, yeah.
that is toxic to Christian values. So don't choose between the two anymore. We can have both. We can work in a Christian performing arts environment where we honour godly values, but we also see the gifts that we have been given by the Lord to share Him through the arts, and they are brought to life and flourish in an environment where they're dedicated to the Lord.
And some of you may wonder if we're going to drag all of these young people and adults around the country. Well, no.
No.
It would be lovely. And actually, when we did Manna in Surrey, we did
We
do
did
a
tour.
tour.
We did tour. That was great.
We did a tour right down to the south coast in Devon. And if the Lord leads that way, then fab. But
Absolutely.
no, at the moment, we really believe that we will be working towards a run of 2 or 3 days, including a matinee like we used to do.
100%.
Of performing a specific musical based around one of the stories of the Bible, with children and adults working together. And we really believe that, just like what happened in Surrey, people will come from hour and a half, 2 hours, even as far as Bath, they came to Surrey.
That's true.
To be involved in our summer schools.
It's important to say that Manna is no longer based in Surrey. Manna will now be based actually up in right up to the where are we? Staffordshire Moorlands. So it'll be up in Staffordshire. So that's where it's going to be. But if you want more information about that, there is more information coming soon. So keep an eye on our website, which is Manna, MANNA, family.co.uk. We will announce all the details for you there. That's coming in the next few months. Make sure you're following the Crick House, this podcast, where you are hearing more about that coming up, and certainly more of the backstory of what brought Manna to be, more of the stories that we have as a missionary family, as a family in ministry, and certainly what the Lord has done so far. So that's coming soon. We cannot wait to have some of you with us and join us in that journey of sharing the gospel using the performing arts. But for now, from all of us at the Crick House,
And the Married House.
and the Married House with the new edition, yes, for the first time on an outro, we
They are
have...
the Crick House too.
It's like Crick House
Oh.
too. Yeah, absolutely. We have an incoming.
It's the Crick House and the
We have-
Rodriguez McGonagall.
You don't know how to say your name.
It's a really complicated surname.
So, from the Crick House
And the Rodriguez McGonagall house.
Anyway,
And the pool. And the pool's house.
and the pool house. It's a big
Pauline.
goodbye. We'll see you soon. Thank you for joining us.
Goodbye.
Until next time.